Hello, family. Welcome to another episode of Role Model Maker. This is Dr. Elda Parent Whisperer with a very special guest today. We have Stephen, Dr. Fitness International, with us. I am very excited about the information that he's about to share with you. I will let him take it from here, tell you about his amazing story and how he got to be who he is. Stephen, welcome to the show. Tell us how you got here.
Thank you. So, most interviews, the person wants or the people want to know what's my story, or you're supposed to be able to tell your story and cause some type of emotion or trigger some sort of pain. So the short of the story here is that I read Charles Atlas comic books and I saw people kicking sand in his face, and then he built up his body. And at that time, I probably was a weakling too, with 11-inch arms, a 36-inch chest. And I thought that was pretty appealing. So I went to work, I created a home gym in the house, and then I graduated to the a local gym. And, every 30 days people would leave, but Stephen Hercy would still be sitting there and continuing. And then I later transferred to a pro gym with a world-class mentor. And if people want to know who that is, they can read my book. Okay, where's that book? There, let me see. We good? Okay, look. The book is Posture for Power. So if you get it, you can look and read all about it. The thing is that the fitness industry has, okay, so what is my want? My want is to bring a health component to what the world knows as bodybuilding. So bodybuilding's been around even through ancient times, so that's not new. A lot of people have a stereotype of image of what bodybuilding is, but bodybuilding is the #1 preventive medicine in the world for men or women to slow down the aging process. A lot of people say, bodybuilding, weightlifting, that's not very, well, that's kind of like, sorry to say, lack of education, because people who have epilepsy, people who have post-traumatic stress, people who have been in serious car accidents would not be able to live if they didn't have strength training opportunities to increase the strength in their body. Like when you get up in the morning, most people reach for a cup of coffee. Supposing you got up in the morning and you were weak, so your day wouldn't go too good. Now, if you know about gym or strength training, you could probably increase your strength about 20 to 30% in about 10 minutes, and that would serve you really well. So my want in the real world is to bring education and clarification of what would be a person's choice when they think of fitness. Because right now, fitness is a big term. Now, somebody could be actually pulling away from the dining room table, and they call that fitness. Some people walk around the block, they call that fitness. So up until now, it hasn't been very, and there, just like there's a difference between a chiropractor and acupuncturist, nobody's actually thought about what is it that I want to do with my body and what are the tools available to me. Some people can get to the gym automatically, and some people hire a trainer. The thing that happens is that they want the trainer to do the work, okay? They don't understand when they go with a trainer, they're going to be doing the work. They're going to sweat a lot, but the result is going to be very minimal. Trainers don't work on creating a balanced body like a yoga master. They're there to work you out and to make you pay the price for paying them to watch over you, because that's interfering with their own personal time. So I'm an international body designer. So the tip would be to actually have a solid business plan of what you would do when you enter a facility like a gym. Now the world has changed, okay? The younger generation has no problem knowing what a gym is. Older people, most of them, have no problem knowing what a gym is either. It's the in-between people between maybe 42 and 60 that are still thinking that yoga and Pilates is going to give them back this miraculous body. Then there's the overweight people that think if they just pull away from the dining room table, they're miraculously going to lose weight. Well, first of all, when you're overweight, I wouldn't be looking at the scale and think about losing the weight. I'd be thinking that if you don't get the weight on, what is it that you don't want? Because being overweight leads to heart disease, it leads to cancer, it leads to diabetes, and there are 15 other diseases that set into the body when you're overweight. So in Dr. Fitness USA, we take a global viewpoint of how the world works in this century. And we know that today we have $1 million facilities. They're not old personal training gyms, they're $1 million facilities. Now, where you wind up is kind of a matter of choice. It's kind of like, do you like Nike shoes? Do you like ASICS shoes? You know, but there's a lot of opportunity in there. And what happens is strength training, when you have a program, follows you through the ages of when your body actually changes hormones. So let's say you had a couple that's in a marriage or a relationship, and 10 years go by or 12 years go by. Well, the woman, it's just an example, the woman that's in front of you is not the same woman that you met 10, 12 years ago. You see, men, well, you don't know how old I am. I'm 72, so I have some experience. I can say with certainty that men have no idea who their significant other half is. Men live in the memory of when they met that particular person. They're not up to date in this present realm of reality. So I always ask you, why would I drive Batista? And because I'm a designer, I create off my feminine side, and she's actually the male energy. She likes to work and think and process her thoughts, and she works 12, 15 hours a day. So why would a male such as myself drive her to the gym over 2,000 times? See, because every time I drive her to the gym, she gets younger. Now, how can you beat that? Okay, so so this is a little bit of thought process. If I have specific questions, then I can be more, I can answer in a different way. But the truth of the matter is, when we talk about tips, okay, tips means that you have to look at your mindset. Where is your mindset? Okay, so a person that would be enrolled in Dr. Fitness USA's program would have a positive mindset to be, get this, a better person. It's not so much to have a better body, it's a better person. And they would have done some research. You see, when I'm being interviewed, people want to know my story. But when people want to hire a doctor or something like that, they don't do any research to know who's going to enter their world and impact them. So I would look for a person that actually does some research. Now, most people, if they had a chance to train with Tony Robbins, would say, sure. But in my world, I wouldn't do personal training with Tony Robbins. It's not negative, but you'd probably come out a worse person than when you went in. Now, if you want to do intellectual, that would be a different story. So you have to differentiate if you want to be an individual person with a program that sustains you through your life, gives you more time, money, and energy. The second thing is, so you have environment, mindset. So the second part that's really overlooked is environment. You know, if you want to exercise or you want to do something, then you have to go visit a facility and see the vibes. what type of equipment they have. You have to do your research, because every gym, even if it's a multi-million-dollar gym, has very different types of equipment. So the equipment that you might choose because you're not an expert, you will never enjoy training, because equipment just simply doesn't work properly. It's a poor brand or a poor choice of equipment. So that's why some people say they don't like training. I do research, so when I look at a person's gym, I know right away what they're talking about, because I wouldn't train there either. So the trick is to actually find a facility that would accommodate what you want to do with your body, followed with a program. And then the next, third thing is you need a mentor to know what is it that you're doing. So you got to check the mentor, what's their object. You see, most of personal trainers are actually want to work you out or get you fit. Okay, they're not a psychologist. So what happens is when you hire a mentor, you want to know if they have a program that's working on is working on taking from energy and producing outside to create more balance in the body. You know, it's a whole different mindset. So again, the best part is research. Okay, sometimes people call me and they say, "Oh, I heard from this person, you're really terrific." So I ask the person, "Terrific? What do you know about me?" So I have to spend half the time trying to prove myself that I'm worthy of them hiring me. They didn't do any research. I got to tell you, every person I run across, I spend hours finding out about them. So when I have a conversation with them, I know what type of dog they have. I know if they have some children. I know if they have some problems in the relationship. So I have to be able to address them where they're at and create a plan of action that waltzes them into a higher level of consciousness.
So would you say that in order to make fitness a part of a person's life, that it's important for them not only to understand themselves, but to also be able to understand how or what type of fitness fits into their life?
Exactly. Yes, that's exactly, yes. In the short, yes.
All right, very good.
Because strength training, according to the Dr. Fitness USA's philosophy, well, I'm an international body designer, so say, in the short, people say, well, people know what a designer is. You can have somebody paint the room, and that's really great, but if a designer has some type of flair or an idea, you know what I mean? So if somebody's running into me, they can ask me some questions. But, you know, in the real world, you have what they call, I'm an international body. Oh, I have a personal trainer. You know, it's like a dumb attitude. Yeah, I don't try. I have respect when somebody is speaking to me, and I have the courtesy to ask them a question so they can demonstrate their expertise. I don't try to override them and tell them I have a trainer or I have a doctor or I have a chiropractor. I'm trying to create a relationship so that we can waltz through life together.
So what are the typical things that you see when people come to you seeking you out? What are the challenges that they're facing?
Okay, we'll talk about the first one that would come to mind. Well, when they come to see me, they don't know what they don't know what it's like to have a different body. They don't have that brain muscle connection. Like a doctor comes to me and what's going on? Oh, well, I don't really have any arms. Okay, so we take a picture. Of course he has arms, but he doesn't have a brain muscle connection. Where somebody comes to me and they're a world-class leader and they say, oh, I used to work out, but I'd rather do things outdoors. Well, when I look at their body, certain parts of their body were never developed in the first place. So it would probably be impossible to develop it without my program, to put it short. Because when I develop a program, I could be in the design studio for weeks because every exercise is attached to an emotion, to an outcome. to different feelings. You have a nervous system. So think of it like an advanced form of acupuncture.
So would you say that a person's emotional state plays a role in their fitness and in their workout routines?
Yes. Okay. So if the person can release some control, we can elevate a person's strength 20 or 30 or 40% in 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
As soon as they feel their strength, they're motivated. So a lot of women, they say, I'm not motivated. There is absolute no truth in that. Somebody wasn't able to show them a way that they can feel supported, how they can actually do an exercise without being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that look like? When we look at fitness routines, even you go to the web or Google, you have people jumping up and down. Now, if you're a woman that hasn't worked out or your body's not so balanced, are you going to jump up and down? See, when I say jump up and down, the first thing you'll do is you'll see the knee come up, like one right knee, left knee, right knee. So what they're doing is they're actually screwing up the person's brain. Now, what would be the opposing? If I came with a chair and I said to the person, would you like to sit down? Ah, that feels good. Now stand up. Now your front thighs are your muscles. See, so it's a whole different mindset. Okay, so all these things are built to, I guess I have to say if you're 20 years old, it might work. But for most people, it doesn't work that way. So you could do 5 or 6 exercises 2 or 3 times a week and you'll feel like $1 million. But the object is always to build muscle tissue under the skin.
So how do you overcome years of poor habits or bad posture or compensation? How do you overcome something like that?
Okay, if they become my student, I will create a program that will attempt to reverse everything that you're talking about. And we show evidence that that's pretty accurate, that it is possible to reverse what's going on in the body.
Right.
I think I have 350 videos on YouTube. If people would even go to the front part of the website and listen to very professional people talk about at the professional level we're at and what happened when they start to work out in a different manner and what happened to their injuries and their pain factor, it's shocking.
One final question for you. What's your suggestion for people who have reached a plateau or they have recurring injuries and they can't get beyond a certain point? What do you typically see?
Well, the short of it was actually call Dr. Fitness USA and create a consultation, and we can look at how it's possible to overcome what you're talking about. We have several factual cases where, let's say it's a woman and she has things torn in the back of her shoulder, and people, the doctors want to perform immediate surgery, okay? And she talks about on my website that she didn't do the surgery, she just did my program, and she didn't have to wear an arm in a sling, she has no scarring, and she feels like $1 million. Not only that, she looks 20 years older than her clinical age.
Okay, awesome. So anything else you would like to share with the audience?
Well, I love being your guest. I got to speak with no interruptions. Of course, I love this. The thing is, some people, if they have a positive attitude, you would take my conversations very positive because I'm telling them the real deal. I'm telling them the real deal. When I go into the gym, I see everything that's going on, but everything is possible. In my program, we have a program that you could do in a gym or retrain yourself in a gym, or If you're scared to go out, we have some programs that you can learn how to do in your home. But you have to take action.
Mhm.
And the action isn't so much physical, but again, it's mindset, is to ask some questions. Now, here's something interesting that I can add. It has to do with women. And we'll translate to men. I can do it really quick. When women are in their intellectual mind 24 hours a day, they're really estrogen based. So when they're thinking all the time, what happens is that they burn out. They escape their body, they go up inside their head, and they live there. Okay? Now, as time goes on, their hormones change, but here's the kicker. Their attitude and everything that they do has to do with the scale of where their strength is at. So when women come to see me, they're only walking around with 20 to 30% of physical strength. So it doesn't matter what you do for them, they're in their head. They say, well, how's that possible? Well, it's possible. You're smart, you're a strong woman, but you're intellectually weak, physically. So in a strength training program, we can elevate their strength over 50%. As soon as they say yes, you don't need a web designer, you don't need any of those things. We can change your life in about 10 minutes. And that's simply by increasing the strength in your body by 15 to 20% immediately. When you raise the strength level in a woman so fast, the immediate reaction is she says, oh, that feels so good. I just created the bridge for her to get back into her body, no screaming or yelling, and she'll be back because she can't find anything easier than that. Now, when men get older, they produce less testosterone, so they become more feminized. A lot of men are in the gym because the strength training is the only hope for them. But there are hundreds of thousands of men, when I look at them or I talk to them, they've never seen a gym in their life or there used to be. So you don't have a situation right now that waltzes between men and women. They're both at friction. The women are getting stronger and too guy-like, and the men are getting too weak, and they don't know how to deal with the women. But when they have a program that brings them together, they can have a sweeter part of their life by doing an activity that they both can share, because the wonderment of seeing a woman train and exude that power is just amazing. And the benefit for women is when your guy is working out on the Dr. Fitness, you have a problem. You're going to have a better man. He's going to give you more gifts. He's going to take better care of you. Okay. He's just going to be a better guy. Because what women don't know, and I always say this, when women find out that men are smart, when men find out that women are smart, they're going to use you till you drop. So for women, they have to learn how to say no. No. Because men have testosterone and we can out-focus you. We also have a feminine side and we know how to chill out. So women don't know how to chill out. So the weight training becomes their lifesaver because it's very quiet, active meditation, it's very peaceful, and you learn a lot about yourself and you have tools that are sustainable on any given day. I think that was helpful. It's a mouthful.
That is helpful. Connecting within also helps you connect outside as well. That's basically the gist of it.
We have men that are spiritual leaders and all they did all their life, and they're big, strong men, they're metaphysical. And when they do their program, it's the most amazing thing that's ever happened to them. They fall in love with actually going to a gym. And when we see what they do in a gym, it's miraculous because they know what they're doing. That's the beauty part of seeing men or women actually going into a place and knowing how to waltz or do different dances without the use of a physical trainer.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you, Stephen. That was very informative. I really appreciate it. Any final words? Any last words?
Well, I could say that the website is Dr. Fitness USA. I have another website that's Dr. Fitness International. But I invite people to actually to reach out to me, send me an email, see if you'd be open to a consultation.
And is it all
And
right if we put your YouTube channel on the
you can
description
put
as
my
well?
YouTube on. And before calling, why not listen to a couple of videos? They're not sales videos. They're wonderful people talking about their feelings of what it's like to have an enjoyment of owning your own body and knowing how to prevent it from aging prematurely.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And when I have to encourage you that Batista has a mastermind program coming up for women. Men can actually join. And if it's slow for a woman to get started, I think Batista is the highest level teacher in the world. And that would be a first step for them.
And for our guests, we have an interview with Batista as well. You can search it in the playlist and you can find that as well. And share more information and tidbits about Dr. Fitness International with her as well. So that's it. Thank you very much for staying with us and listening. Thank you, Stephen, for spending your time here and sharing your knowledge and your wisdom and your information with us. And we have the descriptions and the links in the descriptions. And we hope to see you guys really soon for future episodes as well. Take care. Cheers.
Thank you.